Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Albion Military Duel between Raphael de Verschel, playing as Canada, and he's going up against Skull playing as 2Y. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is Skull's deck for the game. He's playing 2Y. And I actually do have a guide to 2Y on the channel that'll be linked in the description. And as you can see, it's pretty similar to my 2Y. Just a couple differences, like I 2-vetted some of my T-72s, he's got an extra card of T-64Bs. He goes for the Rapira instead of the Conkers. The Rapira is more of a defensive option, the Conkers is a more aggressive one, the BRDM2 Conkers. He also seems to bring a card of regular Gvardetsi, which I just don't bother doing. I just don't think they're worth it. Because if he's got 3 cards to supply, which you don't really need with only, no Vetacatsias, no Grads or whatever, so you could get rid of this and, well, to be honest, you would need another card of infantry. Yeah, BMP 1s and then BMP 2s. Grenade launchers, Metis, SVD. All looks good to me. CVs, 7 CVs. Yeah. You get the HE one, so you can send it in front of the cluster one, and also it's its own bomber and does things, right? 4 fighters, that's all good. You can bring 6 fighters if you want, but you tend to lose out on some of these other tabs. Like, do you need this many tanks? It's a lot of tanks. It's a lot of tanks. If you get rid of that, you get 4 AP. And then you can... Wow, they're all 3-point slots. Apart from this. So yes, a Periopio, and then, yeah, he's brought the regular Vardetsi instead of basically a card of Sappers, so that's fair enough, really, if you want to do that. 3 cards of supply is really weird, though. I'm not sure you really need it when you've only got 2 Acacias that aren't even vetted. I mean, if you buy a lot of tank, if you're constantly repairing all your tanks, sure, but you don't actually have that many. It's not like you've got 10 million T55s, right? So I don't know if you really need it. Also, he doesn't get the funny opener, so I mean, I understand wanting ground surveillance radar, but this overlaps with this, right? So you really only need one. And then basically, if you get rid of one of these, you can get this helo, and then this helo combined with this plane, and then an SU-25 in the opener can get a lot done. It's very funny. I do believe I build mine like that. Because, yeah, instead of the 3rd card of supply, and I still have the upvetted Acacias, and instead of the Breuser, I've got the ZU-23 for anti-infantry, because you've got the OSA for anti-air. I don't see the point in the Breuser. And then, yeah, you get the SE-25 AT, and you open with this, that, and this, and you just kill everything. It's a very funny opener. Works a lot of the time. It's sometimes, like, if you see the enemies open, like, 3 ASFs or 2 ASFs, because the SU-25 AT also has side missiles, so if you play it properly, this plus this can beat the enemy's 2 ASFs, maybe, right? If it's just a 1v1, they should just rout each other off this, and, you can always help out with this. And then just go about your business, because this should have survived, and this should, still be operational, and this should be evect. So I do prefer that, but, it is what it is, right? His opponent's playing First Canada, which a lot of people have told me to make a guide on, but I get people telling me to make a guide on every single division, so... Yeah, Canada's kind of hard to play properly. It's like a little bit of everything, and that kind of hurts it, but... Yeah, 6 ADATs is... I don't know, man. It's a lot of ADATs. And they're not... they're very expensive for what they are. Like, if you're getting seeded, then you're an idiot, so just don't get seeded. Also, there's this thing where it's like, oh, the blowpipe plus the Cook V blowpipe for extra, so it's actually 2 and then that's actually 80% accuracy, and this is only 55, and this actually has less range than that for whatever reason. uh, and you can 2-vet it. The thing is, it's actually absolutely bloody useless against planes, whereas this could actually hurt planes, so I don't agree with it as a principle, personally. Uh, yeah, you could delete this and bring the javelins as well, right? You could do that. You've got the 4 fighters. This thing's really useful because it flies in front of your other planes so that they don't die. This AT plane, you can bring it if you want. Just remember to shoot on the side armor on the enemy tank so it doesn't do anything. This has a 2-minute reload, but this has a 1-minute reload, so I actually prefer these, even though, yes, 40% ECM is nice, but it can just die anyway, so... So, similar with the cluster plane, but yeah, this can be funny if you open with Recon Helo and this, and you just destroy the whole enemy's opener. It's very, very funny. 3 cards of supply with no mortars for smoke or anything is like, why do you need 3 cards of supply if you're air spamming and stuff? I don't really think you need that. So just remember to switch off the fuel and you'll be fine. Remember to switch off the fuel. And now you can get some mortars for smoke, and you can get it in the fast one or the one that stops you from being counter-batteried. I prefer the one that stops you from being counter-batteried. So very good optics, okay. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. At the very least, 1-vet these, or at least 1-vet one of them. Like, do you really need 6? They're expensive. Try 5, see how that goes for you. No toe cobras. Okay, I mean... You could get away with not bringing them. Yeah, I wish I could give you some, like, good deets on... Honestly, I would just try this at 1-vet over the... Well, no, this is actually a really good satchel squad because these fire on the move. They're LSWs. And you get 1 more availability and it costs 10 points less. But yeah, like the Pioneer Flam on East Germany at 1-vet with the Resolute tag, I've been having a lot of success with that recently. Is it worth 2-vetting these? Are you not going to run out of infantry? Also, where are the mech CPS got with their 11 strength for 60 points? Okay, paying 5 points more for an extra machine gun. Maybe that's worth it. Eric's is a core thing, you want that. Yeah, get rid of a card of these and bring this lot. And honestly, I wouldn't be 2-vetting all this infantry. I think you're going to run out. If you notice how cheap it is, I wouldn't be doing that, personally. And then, yeah, the Dozer, I guess, gets 2 front armor for 20 points. I mean, I just kind of bring the trucks, but... Yeah, I mean, I'd love to make a bunch of... and why not bring a card of these, right? Instead of 6 guys, 30 points, whatever, right? Although I appreciate they come in a nicer transport, so maybe keep those. But yeah, just get rid of a card of these. Paying 5 points for a machine gun, I suppose, can be worth it. And then bring some reserve. And like this for 15 points is actually not bad. And also, like, because you don't have MG teams or whatever, so this would be your MG team. The Grizzly is a nice transport, but like, for the same price, you can get 6 guys. What? You can get 6 guys with 2 rocket launchers, but of course, no machine guns, so their anti-infantry capability is worse, but you've got all these anti-infantry squads anyway, so. But they don't come in the Grizzly, and the Grizzly's pretty good for driving around the side and being a pain in the neck for 30 points with smokes. Really not so bad. 50 cal's not as good as KPVT, right? That's why it's cheaper. And you get Grizzlies in with the Erics as well. Yeah, I mean... Honestly, like, you've got these guys, right? You got these guys. I don't know about this, really, because you've got 5... How many Grizzlies do you really want to send around the side? Is 5 not enough? And you will buy all your Ericses, because they're very good, so... Yeah, and then you can get the tank hunters and send them around the side as well. I don't know, it can be worth doing it this way. I wish I could be more helpful. Let's have a look at the CVs. 11 men, 2 availability, AT smoke. This is 6 men. This is... Whoa, that's a really... Because that's 3 availability. It's not got the smoke, but it's got AT and 8 guys and 3 availability. I'd bring this one. Glad I checked now. Ito instead of Toe 2, and then you've got Toe 2 here. It's only got 1 armor, so I'm not a huge fan of this one, actually. But you got the car as well, and people like the Cougars for the start, go around the side, be annoying, but you could do the same thing with a regular Grizzly, so I don't really think you need it. I mean, they are cheaper, right, because you don't have to buy the... Especially if you've got this card, you definitely don't need to buy those Cougar Recce's. Yeah, interesting div. It's a lot of fun, actually, but it's kind of obnoxious to play. Anyways, I'll see you in game. Right, so with that out of the way, in terms of which div's better on this map, I think Canada's a lot better because your deployment's better because of the AT stuff, right? And then you get the ADATs, because like this map has a lot of open ground, so if you get there, like let's say you take this at the start, or even if you don't, you put it here, you put an ADATs there, well then what's anybody else going to do about it? You outrange them, you're just going to kill them here. Same on this side, all the reinforcements come down this road and this road if you buy stuff for over here. So as long as you own this building, so they don't sneak up on you, you just put an ADATs there. And then you can just kill everybody, right? And you have, if you're fighting building to building, the Eric's is just going to destroy everything. So that's an advantage. Now, having said that, 2 wide does have some advantages. Free Resolute on all its units is quite nice. All its infantry units, at least. Grenade launchers, super useful. That's about it, really. I mean, its AA isn't even long-range AA, so... Yeah. Looking at the deployments, we got some snipers out from Raphael, or 1 sniper out. And a Recce GSR. So they've got Grand Surveillance Radar for 40 points, but they're only 3 guys. But they've got AT. Then an Ito on the left, an Ito in mid, and a blowpipe. I don't rate those. I mean, I understand mathematically speaking, you get 2 of them, and then you've got 80% accuracy because it comes in a blowpipe vehicle. They're certainly better against helicopters than the Javelin, right? Because they've got more range. But also they're not fire and... Well, I suppose neither of them are fire and forget. But they've got less accuracy, right? But the idea is you've got 2 of them. And you can double vet them to get the 40% accuracy. But against planes, look at the plane range. Like, they are, honestly, like, they might as well just not be there against planes. Whereas the Javelin can contribute, right? If a plane keeps flying over a Javelin, it will hit it. Whereas the blowpipe, will it even shoot? Most of the time it won't, because by the time it's aimed, it's flown out of the range. But yeah, I need to do some more experimentation on that. Then we got an Ito for here, blowpipe again. You probably want that in the forest, right? Deep forest. Mott rifles, Mott rifles, Mott rifles, Eric's. CV. Skyguard, so this thing is like a AA gun. It's got radar, but the Seed can't shoot it because that's just a bug, and they just haven't bothered to fix it. Then we got 2 Mech Recce coming in these pretty speedy reasonably speedy helos. 80 helo. It's got anti-tank rockets. It's pretty interesting. It's very, very good against transports. Skyguard, Mott rifles, Eric's, and then 2 Leopard 1s. Looking at his opponent's deployment. That's interesting. He's just not bothering with Dimitri or Elena at all. It's the first time I've seen this because obviously this is the only middle zone, and you know, if you lose Dimitri, you can attack Elena reasonably easily. Attacking Anna's actually a lot harder, but Blue has an easier time in the middle. But but Red's Anna is more defendable than Blue's Elena. I like this map a lot, actually. You gotta play it differently to all the other ones, which is why people don't like it. So we got a BRM 1K going there. Why? Right, the points of entry are down this road and down this road. So why not... Right, so unload that guy in there so you've covered this, and then this should go up to here. Putting it there doesn't make any sense, because he could actually just go past you and you wouldn't know. And we got a 30 mil, an Igler, and a Conkers. It's not even taking this. And a 40-point CV for Anna Center. Boris. Okay. Then, yeah, it looks like he wants to attack on the right. It's the first time I've seen this, so... We got 3 Spetsrose Vedka. One for here, one for here, and one for there. Does he think the enemy gets airborne forward deployment? Because he doesn't, apart from the Recce's. Or maybe he's just really worried about those AT things, or like the AT plane, and so he's just not going too aggressively, but... You know, in that case, you should open fighter. Anyway, 30 mil, Gvardetsi, and Metis. And then a T-64B, an Osa, and a Igler. So he's just like going for this and just ditching mid, which I suppose makes sense given the circumstances, but like he will just be behind. I assume he wants to attack Gregory, but well, we'll see what happens. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels with 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Otherwise, please just like the videos. It's free, and it makes YouTube recommend them to more people. They also get a Steam key for my game, Hearse Hero, which is on Steam. I've been working on the trailer today, because like the store page isn't live, but you do get the keys, because it is on Steam. It's going to take me a few days. It's a lot of work for like 1 minute of footage, 1 minute of trailer, but I mean, it is the most important part of the game, ultimately. The trailer, which isn't even in the game. So, it is what it is. Anyway, so yes, hopefully we see this shoot. Right, did you see how one rocket hit there and it almost killed it? So, yes, a very nice piece of kit, and you can see why it didn't play too aggressively. And it can survive a man-pad hit. But it can't shoot infantry at all. Like, it literally can't shoot this in the slightest. It will do nothing. So, but yeah, you see I mean, you should have had that behind there, really. Right, so now it should go back. Oh, it's going to get the CV. Never mind, it should kill the CV. Oh, no, what's he doing? He should have killed the CV. It's okay if you die, if you kill that. You might die anyway. Oh, what a joke. Literally the worst case scenario. He could have killed it as well. Well, what could I say? He shouldn't have listened to me. And now this Potok will go in its merry way. Because could you imagine? Because like that's not... I mean, typically you want to open with 2 of these. So that you don't, you know, you can just cut both of them. Like, it's just the same with the Potok. They are basically the same thing. 40 points for... Although, of course, you know, this one gets 3 armor because it's packed. And it's amphibious. And it costs the same. Anyway... Sniper's probably not going to make it. And you can see the plan of attack here. He wants to try and take Fedor. I've played on this map a few times now, because it's in ranked now. And this is the first time I've actually seen this happen, so... Oh, he just wasn't fast enough with that smoke. But, yeah, Blue, he could have been very far ahead at this point. If he'd opened with 2 of these, and he just stuck around and killed that Potok, Skull would have had none of the points on the map, and he by now would have had +3, +4, +5. He would be on a +5 by now, and that's a big point. You know, that's a lot of points. So, yeah, it's a shame, really. Ground surveillance radar is better than regular exceptional optics, so it says that it gives you +1 optics, but people have told me that it actually gets more visual range. Because like, there's a cap on how far you can actually see, just like a hard cap. And if you've got ground surveillance radar, it's further. So Ito goes down there. The sniper survives, but the Ito was the primary target. I mean, that's like what 60, is it like 80 points or something? Yeah, it's 80. So definitely paid for himself there. And you saw how useful these were against that plane. But yeah, they are better against helos. It's just, I'd rather have something that also has the plane ability. I understand that it's like, well, I've got the ADATs. Well, the ADATs is really bloody expensive, so... Also, how much damage does an ADATs do? Because if it does more than 5, then having the, you know, the blowpipe or the Igler is very useful. If the ADATs does more than 5. Let me find the, let's go on War Yes while we watch this sniper slowly shoot. So this thing's got 40% ECM, as is this. So the idea is, I think he just sent that out to just see where it was. Ah, yes, he's moving it, which is very, very intelligent. Although this is having some serious trouble bombing that. You gotta be careful with these automatic, you know, it's like press T and let it sort itself out. Usually you have to babysit it to make it face mostly the right way first. Looks like we're gonna get a 40% ECM moment. Yep, 40% ECM there. I mean... when you fly that close to it, it's going to have closer to like 80% accuracy or something, so... And the Briusa, basically, this just doesn't seem to be affected by ECM. It might be, but it's just... the way it works is it fires loads of bullets, and so... and there's like there's a flaw, like there's a minimum accuracy, which is either 10 or 20%. And so if you're the guy who fires loads of bullets, you're still going to hit him. Because each shot will just be at the accuracy floor, regardless of his ECM. So yeah, these are absolutely killer against vehicles, but they literally don't shoot at infantry. Which obviously is a bit nonsensical. In real life they probably would shoot at infantry, but... as far as I'm aware, it's just like a... you know, a steel dart, right? So I guess it wouldn't do much unless you direct impact them. Like, it's got no explosive in it. I'm sure somebody will tell me how wrong I am in the comments. Great way to learn that. Anyway, so we see the smoke coming out here, and, you know, infantry in front, armour behind. He's got the BMP-1s in front of the T-64, which can be smart, because if this gets hit, you don't really care. If you're using T-55As, you definitely want the BMP-1s in front, because they have smoke, and the T-55s don't. But yeah, generally it's just kind of a blob. I guess it doesn't really matter in this case. Both of them can survive a hit. That's lost its vision. This is the one from before, most likely, because it's got a 2-minute reload. And the blowpipe doesn't even shoot. These two will shoot, and they don't hit at all, right? I'd rather have one Igler than two of those, frankly. Because, you know, like... this, if that was an Igler, it would have shot there. And if that was an Igler, it would have hit there. You're like, yeah, but the vehicle, well, the vehicle also didn't hit anything, so... yeah, funny thing about these Leopard 1s, they don't have very high pen, and these guys have a lot of armor. Now, this thing will just kill all his stuff. He really needs to respect it. He needs to reverse right now. He has chosen death. Well, he's smoked, so I guess he's getting out. Igler's coming up. This one's about to run out of ammo. He needs to hit it twice. Well, there's one, and after one it should go back and heal. Unless there's a juicy CV, right? You gotta make these decisions in the moment, right? And it's not always obvious. Wow, it hit! Incredible. Incredible, it hit. Incredible. Incredible. So, red's on a +1. Even though, because like this is like a middle zone, if that makes sense. And this is a back zone. I know they both say +1, but if you just think about it mathematically, 1, 2, 3, 4 zones versus 3 zones. Because if you take a middle zone, you know, a contested middle zone, you're not depriving your enemy of a zone. Whereas if you take the enemy's back zone, yes, your zone number is going up, but theirs is also going down by 1, so it is more important. It's kind of weird to think about, because this says +1 and that says +1. You're like, well, what's going on there? But if you think about it, it makes sense. So, blue, I mean, buying the ADATs is a good idea. He is getting RT'd, which isn't great. Yeah, he could buy some RT and kill the mortar. That'd be a good idea. Or he could, you know, like, because his infantry is actually pretty good. for the price and so on. Although he doesn't bring the big boys, the mech escort. And so, you know, he could get his own smoke mortar, which he hasn't brought, actually. He's only brought... Oh, well, that's obviously not ideal, is it? And then you could get your CV in by smoking, right? And you could just smoke here so that the enemy fire support can't help. And then, yes, look, he's running through the smoke. The issue with doing it on the enemy smoke is that if he notices this is happening, he can just stop smoking. So this has been purchased and should immediately be shooting this and then moving up, because it reloads while moving, so you want to fire it as soon as it comes in, and as you can see, it has the range. Very popular artillery pieces, the Acacia and the M109. You know, they've got different names depending on which nation they're on and stuff, but they're probably two of the most popular arty pieces in the game. Particularly the Acacia, because all the packed divs are the same, right? So, yeah, because you see the issue now is that he's going to get rinsed by all of these tanks, whereas if this was smoke, that wouldn't happen. And even if these were Carl Gustavs, they'd be doing 1 damage, so, like, yeah, they suppress him, but they're not actually killing him, right? But the idea is you get him on low cohesion, then you bring in your tanks to kill him, so, like, let's say all 3 of these came up the hill now, well, these would just miss, or at least they should just miss, and then you can kill him. If I was Skull, I'd stop smoking here now, because you're basically just giving the enemy cover. And yeah, so I guess the next idea is to come push over here. So yeah, that can be a good idea, right? You rush the enemy's back zone. You don't have to take, like, you notice he didn't just fast path down here, he took like about 5 minutes to take it. And then, you know, the enemy can reinforce this a lot faster than you can, because for starters, you can't use this road because you don't know if there's anything on it, although there actually isn't, so he could. And then, yeah, he can resupply fast, reinforce faster than you can, and it tends not to be a very good position. And so you just hold on to this with kind of the bare minimum, and then you come in it, like you just take this, for example, and then you're on a +2. This is a +2, or you come back for mid or something. There's lots of different ways of doing it, right? There's no hard and fast rules in Warno, because for everything there's an exception. Like with that AT rocket thing, I was like, oh, we should run away so he survives, but there was a CV there, and if he'd killed the CV, he would have been on a +5. If he'd also got his own CV in order. So, can be worth it. But yeah, look at the amount of impact one smoke mortar has had on the game. And that's the effectiveness of smoke. It just completely changes the dynamic, right? Because with no smoke mortar, well then this ADATS could just be like here, and it would just shoot that as it's there, and it would just die. Whereas with the smoke mortar, you know, different army compositions are better, and like this is probably the most cost-effective 50 points you can spend in the whole game. Obviously, so the thing with smoke is you could actually mess yourself up with your smoke. So this will be the one from before. I'm going to assume it's not making it out this time, because this thing's right behind it. That 10% ECM really paying dividends here. What the fuck? You didn't fire the last missile? Wow, that 10% ECM really paying off. Really paying off. That's a very lucky bomber. It's not the first time we've seen that. But that's Warno. So, yeah. Oh, he could have got a side shot there. But he's aiming for the Spetsrazvedka, I think. No, oh, he missed. He missed twice in a row, I think, maybe. Probably could, because that'd be 6 side armor against 16 pen. Well, I'm not sure how much damage it would do, actually. It might not have killed it. It's a very ballsy, I mean, this should be dead, really, but just didn't move this to the side. It might still die. He got out, but if you know, so those rockets just immediately suppress this. So now he's definitely going to lose that fight. Whereas if he'd come in with... Oh, what is he doing, man? Okay, he's noticed. No, well, kind of. Yeah, it's the NSVTs and the PKTs that do a lot of the damage. Like pack tanks in general are just better against infantry because, I mean, this just has 2 MMGs, right? And you know, like also the guns tend to be higher caliber on packed, not necessarily more pen, but higher caliber, which means the anti-infantry damage and the suppression is a little higher. There's a lot of soft stats that people don't really think about. It's mainly why the British tanks are bad, because they're just screwed over on all the soft stats. But yeah, you got to consider that this is, you know, significantly cheaper. It's less than half the price. Also, if you think about the NATO versus Pact dynamic, so like the best counter to Leopard 1s is Milan 2s. So the best counter to a Leopard 1 div is first UK, because you get 4 armor vehicles with Milan 2s on them for IFVs. But, you know, in a standard team game, it's NATO versus Pact. So the lower armor of the Leopard, it can't actually be one-shot by any ground-based Pact ATGM, except the Conqueror's M. Which, excluding like the funny tank ATGMs, right? Like that Invar thing. The Conqueror's M can do it. But apart from that, the rest can't. So, Leopard 1s are pretty good against Pact divs. Because the gun tends to beat the T-72 or whatever. T-72 gun. So, okay, so he's going for the A... Right, I see. So that AT thing, I don't think you can attack position with that, but the Voodoo spots the enemy AA, because it's like a seed but without the missile, basically. So it spots the enemy AA. I don't understand why he keeps sending the fighters out, though, to just fly over them. Because, like, this is just going to go repair now, and... Or at least it's losing all its cohesion. If that happens again, it evacs. Yeah, I think what's happened here is he's just clicked it there, and he's just forgotten about it, and now it's just flying around in circles. Okay, he spots the HE. But yeah, typically you want to keep it further back, right? And then send it in when you need to. But he got the kill. So yeah, you see what he's doing here. So this spots the AA, and then this comes in and kills it. It's a bit of a risky strategy, because he might just kill you. But you see he's going for the OSA, and he should get it because it's being spotted by the Bruiser and so on. So it's a pretty interesting way of doing things. And you see how effective these blowpipes are? I mean, it really is a beggar's belief. If that had flown over 2 javelins, pretty good chance that would be dead. Because only one of them would have to hit. Whereas the blowpipes, yeah, sure, one of them has to hit, but they don't even shoot. They don't even shoot. So... yeah, I hate to see it, really. I mean, look at that aim time. 2.58 seconds aim time. What is it for what's it even called? It's not an Igla. Javelin. So we got another smoke attack here with the BTR-80s. It's 2.8 with a Javelin as well. Grim. Absolutely grim. Oh, it's the same for all the manpads. So yeah, if that was a Hellfire, it would have one-shot that. And I guess they get the Vickers on, you know, on the KA-50, the cooler, on 35Y, and that's 26 pen. So that would one-shot it as well, but, you know, how many times are you facing 35Y these days? It's weird, you get this thing where it's like, so if people don't see a division for a while, they just assume it's bad. So people like, 35Y is weak. It isn't. It's just nobody's playing it because Homeland have switched to Broken Arrow. And it got buffed in the last patch. The availability on its IFVs went up. So we got lots of Gvardetsi here. Could have used a grenade launcher, an Igla, and a Conquer. So like, because you don't need that many Gvardetsi, right? That was a good kill. And yeah, I mean, it's the... like, okay, so he got that. But yeah, I was going to say, an ADAT's there would be pretty useful. So you see kind of the plan, right? So he did get pushed out here, now he's coming in over here. The issue is that, obviously, his enemy is on a +1. Carl Gustav will not... well, it will one-shot these, actually. The Law won't, the M72 Law. And Yeah, so like one less Gvardetsi, one more Metis, right? One less Gvardetsi, one more like Igla or Grenade Launcher or something. It's hard to make these decisions in the moment. But like, so I've been playing 7th Panzer recently a bit to make a pro guide, although I say that a lot and then I never make the guides. And the thing I've noticed is, like, if I just force myself to buy one infantry and then one tank, so like whenever I buy an infantry, like a line infantry squad, I will buy a tank squad immediately after. And that just seems to work really, really well for me. Whereas before that, I was basically just buying all my infantry, not buying any of the tanks, and then losing the games. Whereas now that's not really happening. So check this out, right? So, will it even shoot? That's my question. Right, it does, because I think it's on the side armor. See how much damage it does there. But yeah, if you come in on the side armor, you do a lot more with that. I don't know if that was front armor or side armor. Basically, I tried using these against the HA Abrams, and it wouldn't even... I couldn't even right-click it. So that was, you know, annoying. So good smoke here. Now he needs to move the smoke up. Is he... He's got the range. Yeah, so now you... Like, you smoke back here now. You smoke back here, and then you can move up here, and your fire support can... Obviously, way easier said than done, right? But it's the concept of the kind of rolling barrage. I should do a guide on it, but I basically just need, like, a really good example. That map, Ica, with the hill in the middle, the long hill, is, like, the perfect place to do it, because it's quite narrow and quite long, with loads of buildings, and so you smoke in one place and move up, and then you smoke behind that and move up, and you can just section the enemy and just kill him and just keep moving in. It's very, very effective. Smoke's so fun to use. People hate it because it's it basically forces the defender to adapt, and they don't like that. They just want to sit there. They're like, no, I own this zone! And it's like, they've got nothing here, they've just got a toe there. They're like, oh, you can't do this to me! And yeah, the answer to it is to blow up the smoke mortar, or change your composition, or counter smoke. One hit on this would kill it before it loads up. Of course, you put it in the MTLB so you can move it. And of course, you know, this is very far away from that, so the dispersion's going to be quite high. But if you do actually try, you do eventually get them. Apart from, like, so like the cluster mortars on MBAD, people just spend the whole game microing the cluster mortar on MBAD. So it's going to Eric's that. Uh-oh, I think he broke the LOS there. He should go straight on. Yeah, that's even if you die, it's kind of worth it. I mean, it's just, it says it's only 40 points, but it's got a very, very, very powerful AT. It's just the anti-infantry capacity of it is basically nothing. It's got no machine guns or anything. Is it really only 40 points? I suppose it's only 6 guys, right? And the range on the Eric's is less than like a dragon, for example. But if you get in that range, you are gonna hurt people. So T-72 coming in to kill this Leopard 1 here. And yeah, you could use the ADATs on this, right? You could bring the ADATs over, and I suppose it's going to drive into it, so you'll see it anyway. Yeah, so this is a 25 pen missile, and it can shoot at planes, helicopters, and tanks. This guy's so dead. 25 pen, but you see, this is 26 and it's blue, and this is 25 and it's blue. Was that blue? Was that green before? Well, I thought that was green before. I'm losing it. I didn't think I was colorblind. This is horrible. I've frequently advocated on this channel for the massacre of all colorblind people in order to improve the genetic quality of the human race. And now it turns out I'm one of those people. I mean, I have to go anyway because I wear glasses, right? So, what a horror show. So, Red, on the +1, I'm really liking the blob gameplay, right? He attacks here, he sort of pulls back, and then he attacks here. I'm loving the smoke. Smoke's really great for doing cool attacks. And, you know, it comes at a cost, right? Generally, it means that you're not focusing as much on something else. It's very hard to do. Drains your kind of Like, I'm really bad in 40-minute games because I can't really pay attention. That wasn't really worth it, really. That thing's like 240 points, so you got a Leopard 1 for it. He could have just killed that with this. I suppose there was something else there, so... Anyway, guy's got to buy his... whoa, that was a gnarly loss, that. Guy's got to buy some MiG-29s, yeah. Because you don't get mega long-range areas. Or you don't want to fly too close. The ADATS is going to get you. It's just a voodoo, mate. This is out of ammo, though. Doesn't even get it. He's been successfully baited. I mean, this thing has got nice accuracy. Gets better the closer you get. So there it would have been a lot higher. It was basically halfway in. And what you can do is remember that you have a CV next to your arty. Easier said than done. I forget a lot as well, but like rather than wait for one of these to come up, you can buy. You could send this up and then buy another one and send it to the arty, and then it'll all get there faster, right? Because you don't have to pass it and just, you know. And the disadvantage of that, and there's your 40% ECM there. Both ways round, both of them just got 2 shot. And both of them are 40% ECM. And yeah, the advantage of the... So crits are done off... It's like a 0.5% chance to crit. And I think it's 0.5% per crit. So, because I've had it before where it seemed like I got 2 crits at once. I'm not entirely sure on that. Because it was a long day. Obviously, it's got a very low chance of happening. And I don't know if it was the same bullet, or maybe it got hit by, you know, 2 things at the same second, right? Maybe an auto cannon round hit the tank at the same time as a tank gun or something. And, yeah, so it's either 0.5% or 0.5% per crit, which means it's more like 2.5%. But it's from any hit, you get a chance to be critted. And so guns that fire really fast, like the Briusa, basically always crit. And you saw that in those FATs. Almost always crit. It got pilot panicked there. And it's because it's firing so many bullets, right? It's firing 10 rounds and then 2, right? Because like this is the ammo consumption. This is what it's actually firing. So it's firing 10 rounds and then reloading for 2 seconds. Which means that it's firing, you know, 30 times 300 rounds a minute. But the ammo consumption will be 1,263. And I believe the crit is done off the real bullet, not the imaginary bullet. There's so many things in this game that are just really dumb. So that's side armor, so it should kill it. You see it just melts, it just evaporates. The issue, of course, is there's quite a bit of AA here now. Like, you can be like, bro, I have the 40% ECM. But, I mean, okay, but bro, I have the 6 AA pieces. And the Briusas, basically, as we've discussed, are kind of immune to ECM. This really, I mean, he's playing fast and loose here with these CBs. This should hide behind this at the very least. So yeah, if he moves forwards a building, you'll see it. I guess he's just waiting for the tank to show up. But yeah, the new maps are interesting. Like, I actually enjoy playing ranked because it's different, it's new, it's not just the same thing over and over again. You know, it's good, right? So he moves the Potok out, and he has hidden the Chaika sort of behind that. I mean, somebody here could still kill him, but... And, yeah, I mean, you can send this over here, right? Which he is now doing. So he's trying to find the CVs, I guess. But yeah, the M109s need to basically constantly be shooting the enemy RT. Air spam in this game is really hard to do, and it's very not up to you. It's very RNG, the air spam. Very, very RNG, and sometimes it works out for you flawlessly, at which point you're just like, oh, I'm such a good player. And then sometimes you just get critted and you lose your 10 HP vehicle in one hit to a cub, 10 HP plane, and then you're like, wow, my enemy's such a lucky player. Right. Either way, it's not your fault, but yeah, if only that other ADATS had rounds, right, you'd be killing all this. Okay, I mean, he definitely could have just artied that. Or just waited a second. He didn't have to use a plane on that. The plane dies, right, which is not great. So does this. It's also not great depending on the side you're on. But why doesn't he push this up? Because the reason I don't bring the regular Gvardetsi with its wow 20 AP is that it's got less range than this. And you'd be surprised, and for whatever reason, it's got less suppression as well. So the 18 one's better. Anyway, quite surprised at Blue's KD there. It didn't feel like he was getting that many kills. But here's Skull, rank 129 with an 80% win rate. He just needs to play more game space, it'll keep going up. And this is Raphael with a lower win rate. Clearly needs to watch more Hippie games. I believe this guy plays a lot of Belgium. I might be confusing him with somebody else just because he has Belgium in his name. So maybe he doesn't play too much Canada. It's an interesting game though. It's the first time I've seen somebody hit down that side road. Okay, it's the first time I've seen them do it and it actually worked. I've seen them do it before. I'll try it, I suppose you could say. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. GG.